Let's be real for a minute and just say it out loud. Glenn Quagmire is the worst. And I mean, we laugh at his antics, but if you actually stop and look at what he's done, it's not funny anymore. It's a straight up trail of wreckage, broken friendships, shattered trust, and lines you just don't cross. So today, we're not laughing with him, we're holding him accountable. Buckle up, because we're counting down the top 6. No, you know what? Make that 7. 7 reasons why Quagmire isn't just a horn dog, he's arguably the most morally bankrupt character on your TV screen. Starting with number 7, when Quagmire literally had women in his trunk. You know, for all his creepy one-liners, there's one moment that really should have gotten Quagmire locked up for good. It's in Airport 07. Peter, being a total moron, backs his truck into Quagmire's car. The trunk pops open, and instead of spare tires, out come 4 terrified Japanese women who immediately make a run for it. Quagmire isn't concerned for them, he's just mad his stuff is getting away. But it gets much worse. Peter then crashes into his own garage door and reveals a dozen more women trapped inside. So Peter, being clueless, says, "I'll help you find them." And Quagmire just snaps, "They're tagged, they're tagged."
Don't worry about it, they're tagged, just get me to the airport.
Yeah, he wasn't collecting phone numbers, folks. He was keeping human beings in his trunk and garage like lost pets. It's not just creepy, it's straight up monstrous, and it completely crosses the line from sleazy into actual monster. Number 6, almost sleeping with his own daughter. You know, Quagmire's been with so many women that the idea he has kids all over town isn't just a theory, it's a statistical certainty. This all comes to a head at a school reunion. He meets a woman, she's fun, she's charming, and they end up back at his place. Everything's going exactly as you'd expect, heading toward that infamous giggity moment. And then he learns her name, and in a split second, the mood does a complete 180. That fun, charming woman, that's his daughter. The color drains from his face. That usually smooth-talking Quagmire is left completely speechless.
What is it, Glenn? What's wrong?
You're my daughter!
In a total panic, he does the only thing he can think of. He pulls out a DNA test, because of course he has one on hand, and shakily tells her, "Here, rub this on the inside of your cheek." It's a moment of pure, uncomfortable horror, and if you think that was a line crossed, just wait until you see what he did next. Number 5, faking his own death. Quagmire trying to live a calm married life feels like the setup to a joke no one asked for. When he marries Joan, everything seems fine at first, until the reality of marriage settles in. One partner, one routine, one life. For Quagmire, that feels like locking the door on his personal playground. The idea of giving up his wild lifestyle hits him harder than any punch Brian ever took. Instead of talking things out like a normal adult, he spirals into full panic mode. His solution? A plan so dramatic it could only come from someone who sees trouble and runs in the opposite direction. He fakes his own death. Yes, Quagmire stages his passing all so he can slip out of the marriage without dealing with the real problem. But his plan takes a strange turn when something unexpected happens. Death, the actual Grim Reaper, shows up at his funeral, ready to collect a soul. Imagine trying to run from a relationship only to get chased by the literal embodiment of the afterlife. Quagmire tries explaining himself, but Death is already annoyed at being dragged into this mess. When even the Reaper is frustrated with your nonsense, you know you've gone way too far. The whole scene is chaotic, awkward, and very on brand for Glenn Quagmire. It's the kind of disaster only he could create, and somehow he still walks away from it like it's just another Tuesday. And believe it or not, the next situation gets even more uncomfortable. Number 4, Meg turns 18. Meg's 18th birthday should have been a bright moment, but it ends up feeling painfully awkward from the start. Her party is nearly empty, with only a few half-hearted decorations and zero energy. Then Quagmire walks in, strangely thrilled about Meg becoming an adult, and the mood shifts in the worst way. He begins acting far too friendly, offering compliments that sound more like warnings than kindness. Before anyone can question it, he takes Meg out, calling it a special birthday outing. What follows is a slow slide into discomfort. He brings her to a quiet cabin away from town, dressed up as a romantic getaway. Meg tries to navigate the situation, but Quagmire's intentions grow clearer by the minute. When things seem to be heading into seriously troubling territory, Peter and Lois burst through the door like a rescue squad. Peter tackles Quagmire with full force, cutting off another one of his creepy lines and ending the entire situation before it escalates. This moment stands out as one of Quagmire's most unsettling pursuits, pushing boundaries even for him. And it sets the stage for a deeper look at yet another troubling moment coming up next. Number 3. Murdering the Simpsons. Family Guy has poked fun at the Simpsons many times, but this moment goes far beyond light teasing. It appears in a fake promo, and everything starts with Quagmire crossing a line by getting involved with Marge in a way that shocks even longtime fans. The scene cuts away before the full details play out, which somehow makes it even more unsettling.
Ah! Get off my wife!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Ugh, you shot my homie! I'm calling the police! Ay, caramba! Mom and Dad are dead! Oh no! Who will pay for my saxophone lessons?
As viewers are left imagining what happened. Things only escalate when Homer comes home. He walks in expecting a normal day, but instead finds Quagmire in a situation no one could ever justify. Homer barely has a second to react before Quagmire makes a sudden move that changes the tone completely. What follows is a rapid and brutal moment where Quagmire eliminates every member of the Simpsons family. Bart, Lisa, and even baby Maggie fall within seconds, turning the iconic yellow household into a silent, motionless heap tinted blue. It's shocking not only because the characters are beloved, but also because it shows Quagmire in a darker, more violent form rarely seen. The crossover element makes it even more intense, as two major animated worlds collide in the most chaotic way possible. It stands as one of the boldest and most controversial moments the show has ever pushed onto the screen. And if this feels extreme, the next moment reveals an even stranger side to Quagmire's character waiting just ahead. Number 2. Sleeping with Cleveland's wife. You would expect Quagmire to avoid anything that could destroy a friendship, especially something as serious as crossing the line with a friend's spouse. But when Loretta, Cleveland's wife, shows clear interest, Quagmire reacts without a trace of hesitation. It happens so fast that even Peter, who is in the middle of giving CPR, stops and backs away like he wants no part of the chaos that's about to unfold.
Boy! Peter Griffin, temporarily suspended CPR. Holy crap!
The situation becomes messy the moment the truth comes out. Cleveland is crushed, standing there with that calm voice hiding a mountain of pain. Viewers see a man who trusted both his wife and his close friend only to watch everything collapse. The emotional weight hits harder because Cleveland rarely loses his cool, yet this betrayal pushes him into one of the most heartbreaking moments on the show. Over time, the two eventually repair their friendship, following the classic sitcom pattern of healing after disaster. But the damage leaves a mark, reminding fans that Quagmire's wild impulses have real consequences for the people around him. This moment remains one of the clearest examples of his lack of boundaries and the shock he can bring into any storyline. If a broken friendship feels heavy, wait until you see the number 1 moment that pushes Quagmire's character into even deeper territory. Number 1. The secret basement tapes. Last but not least, there's a moment so quick you might miss it, yet it lands harder than anything Quagmire's ever done. He opens a hidden door beneath his house, and behind it sits a long, chilling wall of camcorder tapes. Each tape carries a woman's name and a date, lined up in perfect rows like some twisted archive. As the camera moves slowly across the shelves, the dates stretch back nearly 2 decades, showing how long he's been collecting these recordings. The disturbing part isn't just the scale, it's the implication. These videos were almost certainly made without anyone agreeing to it. Every tape represents someone who trusted him, someone who believed they were sharing a moment with a real person, not being turned into a file in a secret library. And through it all, Quagmire looks directly into the lens with a smile and says a single word: memories. It hits with the coldness of someone who feels no guilt at all. The show treats it like a throwaway gag, but fans still talk about it because of how deeply unsettling it is. It reveals a side of Quagmire that goes far beyond comedy and lands in territory no one expected from a cartoon character. And that's the list: Quagmire's 7 Deadly Sins. Let us know in the comments which one shocked you the most. If you enjoy this dive into darkness, do us a favor and hit like and subscribe for more. Sleep tight, giggity.